Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I?
Welcome to my channel, Mir 1996. This is an Outlander channel where I make Outlander content, Outlander inspired stuff and such. Today I thought that it would be fun to make a tier list, and that this is the idea behind this is to make it a small series where I make tier list of each episode of each season. And today is season 1, of course. These are all gonna be my opinions only. It's nothing official. You can disagree with me if you want to. I do have one request though, and this is a TV show only project, I guess you can say. I'm not gonna compare to the books. I'm not gonna compare what is done better in the books and the TV show, what the differences are, what the similarities are, anything like that, what the books did better or whatever. This is only the TV show I'm going to focus on, so please keep that in mind when you watch this. As you can see over here, we have A for amazing, top-notch, best. EG is extremely good. G is good, and F is forgettable. I don't want to say fail because I don't feel like the show has done any big fails when it comes to episodes, because it's just that good. So I'm just gonna call it forgettable instead. As you know, a lot of stuff happens in these episodes, so bear with me if I'm gonna look at my phone sometimes to remember what happens in the specific episodes, because I would also like to talk about those, during this tier list. So bear with me if I do that. But yeah, let's get started. Episode 1. I feel like episode 1 is a very strong start to the story. We get to meet the characters, and we get the settings, and we get the background very well. It's a very, very good episode. It also happens to be Sam Huron's favorite episode. But to me, I don't know. It's not amazing. I'm gonna put it in extremely good because it is a very strong start. So I'm gonna put it in extremely good because Jamie and Claire meet each other for the first time, and Claire get from back to the past, and we meet Dougal and Myrta and Blackjack. We get a taste of how sadistic he is. So I just think it's a very strong episode. Not the pure best, but very good. Episode 2. And now I'm gonna look at my phone. Episode 2 is pretty good too. This is where we get to Castle Leac. We have the very iconic scene, probably one of my top favorite scenes of the whole show, where the one with in front of the fireplace, Claire turns to Jamie and she sees his back for the first time, and she cries in his arms, and it's a very, very good scene. So we have that scene in it. Other than that, we get to see the castle, we get to meet Dougal, we get to know what year we are in. We meet Galis and so on. We get a bit of background on Jamie, why he is a wanted man, and yeah. So I'm not gonna put it in extremely good because most of it, we're still getting into the story, we're still getting into what is happening and so on, and getting to know the characters a bit more. So it's not extremely good. I think that it has that very iconic scene, so it's gonna be at the top of the good list, I think. Episode 3. Episode 3. I am gonna. What do I think about episode 3? I'm probably gonna put it in the forgettable one because I don't feel like there are that many iconic scenes in it. We meet Galis and we met Galis the episode before this, but we really get to know her in this episode, which I like. I know Galis turns out to be a villain, later on and all of that stuff, but she's one of my personal favorite characters despite of that. I think she's a really strong character and I really like her. But nothing much happens in this episode, I feel like. I mean, yeah, we get to see Jamie and Claire work together for the first time. I mean, like for real, work together. With the little boy who has his ear nailed to a post, and then they work together to get him free and all of that stuff. So yeah, that happens. But I mean, I'm gonna put it in forgettable because nothing big happens in this one, I feel like. But then we get to episode 4, which is where we see Claire's first attempt on trying to escape the castle. A lot of stuff happens in this episode, I feel like. We have the gathering, where all the clansmen gives their oaths to Colum, the clan leader. I really love this episode because we see Claire's first attempts on trying to escape, where she stumbles upon Jamie in the stables, and where he is very sweet to her and explains why this is a bad idea and takes her personally back to the gathering, even though it's dangerous for him, which she doesn't know yet here. But later on in the episode, we find out that, oh my god, he's risking his life going here in front of his uncles, and it's very tense scene, and I love this episode. It's going into extremely good. It's very good. I like it. It's not better than the first episode though. So yeah, it's going behind the first one for now. And episode 5. Now this episode, I think it's very good. I don't know if it's extremely good, but it's very good because this is where they're on the road. We get to meet the Jacobites for the first time. We get introduced to that and what is happening with that. We have one of my favorite scenes between Jamie and Claire, with him sleeping outside of her room to keep her safe, which, I love that. I love Jamie. But yeah, it's very good too. I love the introduction to the Jacobite storyline, and following Jamie and Claire's relationship develop on outside of the castle. And also we get to see how, I don't know if I want to say awful, because he also has his good moments, but how complicated Dougal is as a character. So yeah, it's going into good. Episode 6 is where we have Claire getting taken to Blackjack because she's an English woman with a bunch of Scotsmen. So there's these English soldiers who think she is there against her will or something like that. So they take her to an English garrison, I think it's called, to to, ask her what has happened, who are you, what can we do to help you, and all of that stuff. And it's going good, she's feeling more comfortable, she's feeling good about being with her own countrymen again. And then Randall walks into the room, and everything gets so intense. And all the soldiers leave. I don't remember why. So she's in this room alone with Blackjack Randall, who questions her in his very own way, as you all know. It's very tense. It's very good episode, and also very strong ending to this episode, because this is where Jamie and Claire, gets engaged. Very short engagements, but they do. So, yay! So yeah, it's going into extremely good, and I think is it better than the first one? I think I'm gonna say that it's better than the first one for me, because there's more tension here. There's more at stake, I feel like. So yeah, it's better than the first one, just a little bit. People, we finally episode 7. There's no question, of course. Amazing. There's no doubt about it. This is without failure. There's nothing wrong with this episode at all. It's perfect, and nothing can top it. I feel like there's been very strong episodes on other seasons since then, but I mean, the wedding episode is just iconic. It is what really got this show started for me. I often tell people who said, "Oh, well, I checked the show out, but it really didn't catch me." I always tell those people, I know it feels like a lot, feels like a long time to give a show a chance, but if you just watch till episode 7, come back to me after that and tell me if you want to continue watching. And pretty much everyone who had done that has come to me and said, "You were so right. This is amazing. And I love the show now." So this episode is just, what else is there to say than it's flawless. It's perfect. Okay. So, episode 8. Jamie and Claire are newly married, so they're still getting to know each other. Getting to know each other as a married couple. I don't really know what to say about this episode. I think I'm gonna put it in forgettable, because on top of my head, I don't remember much what happens in this episode, other than the iconic scene where, Jamie and Claire are having some fun time in, like, a meadow, some grass. I don't know exactly what it is. And then some English deserters come and interrupt them, and what happens after that. Jamie, he kills them and runs off with Claire, asks her if she's okay, and so on and so on. And then after that, she's angry, Claire, not at Jamie, but at herself. Then she gets left alone, because the other clansmen have some meeting, I think, with someone. And then, she runs off because she spots the stones. She sees the stones of Craigna Dun. So she runs off to those, but then she gets captured by the English soldiers. Which, with the whole point of her getting married to Jamie, is to keep her away from them. So it's like, I love the wedding episode, and I love their marriage and all of that stuff, but the whole reason for her to marry him is so he can keep her safe, keep her away from Blackjack Randall. And then the very next episode, she gets taken to him because she's English. I don't know. I don't really like it. I feel like they can do better, especially since they're newlyweds. So I think I'm gonna put it in forgettable. I think it's above the other episode I put in here. I don't know what's that, episode 3 or something. Uh, I think it's better than that, but still a little bit forgettable to me. And then we have episode 9. Oh, episode 9, people. I love this episode. Mostly because of 2 scenes that's in this one. Or 3. First, there's the big rescue of Claire. There's one where, it starts out with Jamie coming down, the castle wall and opening the window with a gun and telling Jack Randall, what is it that he said again? Something like, I thank you to take your hands off my wife, something like that. And it's just, and then Jack's face is just like, oh shit. And I love it. I love that scene. And then after the big rescue, Jamie and Claire's iconic fight scene. I mean, the passion in that scene from both of them and the acting, and it's just, oh my god, it's so good, guys. I love this scene, and I love this fight. I don't love them fighting, but it's so good when they do fight. So yeah, I really love that part. Well, there's one thing I really don't like in this episode, and that is, the one, it would never go today. Jamie thinks it's fair, justable, I think it's called, to, beat Claire with a belt because she disobeyed him. Not his finest moment, and I do not agree with that at all. I don't agree with him doing that, and I don't like it, and I'm not squeamish. And when I do watch this episode, I watch it all. So I don't look at way like, oh god, he's beating her. No, I don't like. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean I can't watch it. Mostly because this takes place in a total different time period, so it's kind of a little bit, it's not okay, but it's more understandable, I think, from his perspective. If you think like a 1700 person, so I don't agree with it, but yeah, but that happens. But then later in this episode, where Jamie has done some thinking to himself and thought, all right, this thing I did here, Claire, she is a different woman than other women in this time. She's not gonna forgive me, and if I want a good marriage, I need to do something about this. And then then also one of my absolute favorite scenes in the whole TV show, where he goes down on his knees, takes his sword out, and swears that if he ever puts a hand on her again, that this sword would pierce his heart, and he says deeply sorry, and he will never do it again, and she forgives him in the most passionate and sexy way I've ever seen anyone forgive someone, and then they start having, sexy time there, which is a great scene too. And we see them just lying around afterwards, and yeah, it's nice to see those small moments between them just lying in bed or on the floor in this case, you know, just lying next to each other, enjoying each other, talking to each other. Yeah, I like it. It's very romantic, I think. Yeah, I think it's gonna go into amazing. Not better than the wedding episode. It's not better than that, but it's very good. I love this episode. Episode 10. We meet the Duke of Sandringham for the first time. Jamie and Claire are finally happy as a married couple. Claire's gotten used to the thought of staying with Jamie, I think. It's very forgettable episode. I feel like, yeah, it's very forgettable. I'm gonna put it in the middle because I think it has a very strong ending. The ending is where Jamie has been ordered from Colin to go with Dougal to do something. I don't remember why, but yeah, he is forced to leave Claire alone at the Castle Leoch, and then Claire gets a fake letter from Leary telling her to come to her. And Leary sent there, why? I didn't ask you to come here. I mean, you're welcome, but I didn't ask you to come here. And then they get arrested for witchcraft. And then we end the episode with them being taken into, you know, the arrest wagon, whatever. So I feel like it's a very strong ending. But the rest of the episode is just... But... Oh, guys. I love episode 11. There's no doubt about it. It's going up here. Going in the middle of amazing. This episode. I mean, first of all, we have the witch trial part, which is really great. I love to see how it was back then. Then we see Jamie come in and rescue Claire, you know, telling all of the other people in the room that I swore an oath before God himself to protect this woman. Now, if you think your opinions are higher than that of the Almighty, then I must inform you that I am not of that opinion myself. Something like that. I don't remember the line exactly. And it's just so great. I love it. And then she reveals that she's from the future as well, from 1968 with the vaccine scar. This is where Claire realizes this, and yeah, the people, they freak out because they see the scar as a sign from the devil, so she must be a witch. Jamie and Claire, they run away. Galis gets carried away to the big pail. What is it called? You know, where they burn people. Yeah. And yeah, it's all very intense and very great acting as well here. I love it. And then, oh, finally, the big reveal. Claire finally tells Jamie that she's from the future. And he believes her right away. I mean, where do you find a guy like this? I mean, can you imagine if this was you? Do you think that your lover would believe you? I mean, I don't think that would happen. But it's just, oh, I love it. And I love his reaction. And I love her reaction. And I love the scene. And everything in it is just so amazing. And the rest of the episode is so amazing because then we cut to, you know, it's nighttime and they're in front of the fireplace, and she's sleeping and he's just, you know, looking at her, studying her, remembering her, because she doesn't know this yet, but, you know, his plan is to take her to the Stones the day after to say goodbye, to send her back to her own time. So yeah, it's a very romantic scene, you know. They begin making love as well here, and I love this scene. very romantic. And then the day after, with the whole goodbye scene, with him thinking he will never see her again, and her making the choice between her husband Frank. I haven't mentioned him before because I'm not a big fan, but but that's for another time. Between Frank and Jamie, this is where she makes her choice, and oh God, I just love it. And his reaction when she chooses him is it's so good. He cries and I cry, and oh, it's so good. I love this episode. It's amazing. No doubt about that. And then we get to episode 12. This is where we get taken to Jamie's childhood home, family home, Lallybrook, for the first time. And we meet his sister, Jenny, for the first time. Jenny is awesome. She's amazing. She's fierce. She is stubborn. She reminds me of myself. So I love Jenny, really, a lot. I am very sad that the actress who plays her will not return for the next season. So I'm a bit skeptical about that. I hope that she will do just as great, but I don't think it's gonna be quite the same without her. So yeah, but we'll see how that turns out to be when season 7 gets here. As for the episode, I just think it's good. Yeah, it's good. It sounds. I don't feel like it's as good as the other two, but I like it. It's very good. Lallybrook, Jenny, backstory on some of Jamie's past, and I like this episode. It's very good. This has a very strong ending as well, because this is the first time where Jamie and Claire says that they love each other, like real love each other. Jamie first says that the first time he loved her was when she cried in his arms in Castle Lear on that first night. And then after that, she tells him that she loves him as well. It's very romantic, and I love it. And it's the first I love you between them. We knew that they loved each other before that, but now it's official. So yeah, lots of love, yay! Anyway, moving on to episode 13 now. Episode 13, I don't have much to say about this. Jenny goes into labor. Claire helps her because, she's a nurse. Jamie struggles with something called the Watch, which is a bunch of Scotsmen riding around. Oh, goodness, I can't remember. I think this is going into the forgettable one, because I remember, of course, Jenny going into labor, and that's intense. And I love that shot where Jenny stands like with her arms up on the wall or something like that, and then you from the side, and then you see her pregnant stomach, and it's just with the lighting and everything, and the shot. I love that shot. It's very good. But anyway, other than that, it's not very good. I feel like it's kind of forgettable as well. I'm gonna put it up here, yeah, because we still have the Jenny part, and Jamie walking around, talking to Jenny's husband, his childhood friend Ian, about what he should do. Stuff like that. It's alright. It's not the best, but it does end up with Jamie leaving Lallybrook. And then the ending of that episode, Ian, who also left with the watch, he gets back to Lallybrook, looking like he's been in a fight. And then Jenny and Claire just ask him, "What happened? Where's Jamie? What happened to you?" and all of that stuff. And then he says, "Well, we got ambushed, and Jamie has been taken by the English soldiers." Oh shit! And Jamie is still a wanted man. So now we have Jenny, who just gave birth, and Claire riding out looking for Jamie, looking for him and going to save him and all of that stuff. But then in the middle of the episode, Myrta comes in, tells Jenny that she can't be away from her newborn child for much longer, so she has to go back, and then he will continue on looking for Jamie with Claire. Jenny agrees, and then the rest of the episode we see Claire and Myrta traveling around the Scottish countryside and performing a song that Jamie is supposed to know that's his family looking for him. Something like that. I don't remember it exactly. So I feel like the half of it is very strong with the Claire and Jenny part. And then the second half, I love the moments between Myrta and Claire where, we get some emotions and some background on Myrta loving Jamie's mother back then, and all of that stuff we get told here. So I love that part, but the whole performing part thing where she is singing on stage and I don't like that. It's not forgettable. I don't feel like it's forgettable, but it's going into the bottom of the good list. Yeah. Episode 15. Oh my god, these last two episodes are intense, guys. I can't with these two last two ones. Episode 15 here. This is where Jamie is about to get executed, hanged. Like Jack Randall stops it, and then we get to Claire and Myrta and all the other clansmen. They try to get into the prison with Claire pretending to be a family member or something like that. We see some pretty sadistic scenes here because we see Blackjack, we see him with the hammer the nail down into Jamie's hand, and Claire crying while that is happening, and Jamie promising Blackjack that if he lets Claire go and she lives, that he will give himself to him. So yeah, and then the start of Jamie's torturous night begins there. So calling it a good episode, I don't know. It's not forgettable because of that scene, but the rest of what is happening in this episode with the whole gang trying to get into the prison and that rescue plan failing and all of that stuff, it's gonna go into the bottom of the good list. I feel like it's somewhere in between top of forgettable, bottom of good. So I'm just gonna put it in the bottom of good, but I can't really decide on it, to be honest. Episode 16, oh boy, episode 16. This is where we get the very detailed scenes of what happened during the night between Randall and Jamie, and Claire not knowing what to do because, yeah, Jamie, I think this episode is going to go into the amazing, because it is a pretty amazing episode. It's very tragic and vile and awful what is happening in the episode, but the storytelling, the acting, settings, it's pretty damn great, if you ask me. I mean, this is one of the most memorable tragic episode in the whole series. So that is why it's in the amazing episode, not because I applaud what is happening in it or anything like that. I'm just looking at it as it's part of a story, it's part of a TV show, and all of that stuff. So yeah, I feel like it's going into the amazing episode, and we end the whole season with Claire telling Jamie that she is pregnant. Yay! And they thought that she couldn't get pregnant, so that's it. Yes, she was pregnant. But yeah, that was my tier list and my thoughts on the episodes. And I don't know if you agree with me, disagree with me, but this is my choices. This is what I think. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time when I will make tier list for season 2. It's gonna be interesting and great and awesome, and I can't wait. And see you all, fellow Outlander fans, next time. Bye.
Sing me